literally just asked him a question and he kept talking. I just
There's a
literally,
reason I deleted it from the agenda. I was going to fit it in somewhere.
that's what she said. All right, let's.
I need 2 men on this. That's what she said. No time. But she did. No time!
Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Happy New Year's Eve. We are the Trio of Positivity podcast. I am one of your co-hosts, Chris, accompanied by my other fellow co-host, Boopin, and for whatever reason, Michael Millard, putting his whole name out there.
Hey, you forgot your middle name.
I'm saying, and the last 4 of your social, please. We are a Chicago Bears podcast. We were hoping to bring you some positivity into your lives, but the Chicago Bears are actually doing that for us, not counting what happened on Sunday, but still a very positive season. Boys, how are you? How was your weekend?
Fantastic.
Anything interesting happening?
Fantastic. Bears lost.
Not just
My
about the
weekend
Bears.
doesn't revolve around the Bears
I was going to say.
Wow. Why have a podcast then?
because I'm a
It's just-
badass motherfucker.
It's not just about you, but we have a podcast because, well, I don't know, actually. We should probably consider why do we have a podcast?
Sorry, I'm asking deep questions.
That was a very deep, profounding question. You can find us on Facebook under Trio of Positivity Podcast. We are also on X at The Positive Trio, YouTube at Trio of Positivity Podcast, and TikTok, happily with still 0 followers, 0 views. We are continuing our streak. I also found out that we still own trioofpositivity.com, but we are just not paying for a service. Good to know. Today's episode is going to revolve around talking about week 17 in the NFL. We're also going to talk about the Bears versus the 49ers. Heck of a game. We're also going to give our positivity score, and then we're going to look forward with Bears versus Lions, which got announced that it was going to be a 3:25 kickoff on Sunday. Go into our predictions, and then we're going to change it up a bit. Fantasy's over, and we're just going to talk about playoff scenarios and what we're anticipating, and maybe we'll do some comments at the end. Let's get started. Week 17, I am going to be the one to start us off because I heard a complaint from one of our fellow co-hosts that I always seem to go last, but I'm going to go first. I'm going to talk about the Rams. No, I'm kidding. Imagine if I just steal everything that we talked about before we started recording.
I would have been fine with it.
Week 17 for me was probably what was happening with the early games and the Saturday games. A lot of moving pieces. I think the Panthers game was the one that I was kind of paying attention to the most.
That was on Sunday.
Well, yeah, it was still week 17.
I know, but you said the Saturday games.
Saturday, yes, there was 4 of them, and then it's week 17. Jesus, Miller. God, he gets a couple comments.
This is why
saying,
you shouldn't go first, because you didn't have your thought together.
Well, because I have a whole spiel.
Chris, please
Essentially-
carry on. Thank you.
Thank you, Boopin. It was just interesting to see how every game you're looking at it. It's not just about the Bears sucking, but you're seeing kind of how the playoff positions kind of fall through. So that to me was probably the biggest thing on week 17. Miller, since you like to interrupt, go ahead.
I'm going to try to build on your thought that made no sense whatsoever. So, my takeaway from week 17 is the teams that were unable to close it out. And what we're talking about is the Panthers, the Bucks, the Rams, the Steelers. All of these teams went into the weekend facing, well, I guess the Panthers faced a superior opponent in the Seahawks, but the other ones kind of faced a team that they were expected to beat. And they not only lost, but some of them got shellacked and almost embarrassed in the Pittsburgh Steelers case. So it was just interesting to see these teams not able to close it out. And now they're in critical positions this week, which should make for some interesting games.
I don't know about critical, but
Really?
And it's just
the
division on
Rams
the
are in a
line.
critical position.
Well, the other 3.
Okay, well, you weren't specific. See, you gotta be specific.
Wow, we
You
are
gotta be
contentious
specific.
today. All right.
75% of the teams are in critical position. That's a C in my book.
Okay, boys, let's put our conspiracy hats on. You guys ready?
All right, what you got?
Mr. Goodell somehow got the Steelers to lose to the Browns. He got the Falcons to beat the Rams, just so Week 18 would be more exciting. What do you guys think?
No, had nothing to do with
The
Goodell.
Bucks losing to the Dolphins? Come on, like
Well,
two
the
of the
Dolphins
three.
have been playing well.
They have been, but like Bucks, like I don't know, like on
the Bucks
paper,
were kind of trending downward, if I recall too.
well,
If you really
come
wanted
on.
to put your conspiracy theory hat on, you should have went with Goodell had the Detroit fan get Metcalf suspended, and then
Okay,
resulted in Pittsburgh Steelers.
that
failing.
incident alone is a off-season podcast. I think I don't know if you guys have been following along. It's been very exciting. I will do a short and explain later. No, like it's like there was a chance Week 18 would be like very boring with like nothing on the lines. A lot of these positions were probably going to be solidified had the
Oh, even
games
the
gone-
Lions
Yeah.
Losing to the Vikings too. That was another team.
Like so like it was like very like interesting how it shaped up. Like so Week 18 has something to play for. But at least on paper, it looked like a bunch of these would have been settled in Week 18. So Mr. Goodell,
Speaking of settling, did anyone else stay up when the Bears game was over to see the schedule get released? I actually did. I didn't realize that they were releasing it immediately after the game was over. Is that a
came
new
out
thing?
earlier? No,
No.
No,
Well,
it's
it came out
not. It's
after?
not a new thing. It's like new as in like the past 5 years.
But like that it's
but-
immediately announced after Sunday Night Football?
Well, that was the last piece of the puzzle. That's why they wanted to know, because I don't think Monday night's game did not really matter because the two teams, Seattle and the Niners, are playing Saturday. So there was no way that they could line up the Rams to that game. Our game was a piece of the puzzle because they wanted us to line up with the Eagles. So that's why it kind of like.
or Mr. Goodell knew that Falcons were going to beat the Rams, so they would not be in the running for #1 seed.
You and your conspiracies, I don't
I don't 2 weeks in a
understand.
row. I'm worried about myself too. It's 2 weeks in a row.
I would be. Yeah, I found it very interesting because as I was walking away from watching the game, Tarico's like, and we'll have the final schedule times. I'm like, that's weird. And then I saw the Saturday games, and then I saw that the Bears Lions went 325, and I'm like, oh, that's interesting. I didn't.
It sucks.
And then they announced Sunday Night Football being Packers Baltimore, which heck of a game to end that Sunday slate with. I think that's a great call.
Bet the
I mean,
under and the
Packers,
underdog in that
Vikings?
game. Bet
Hmm?
responsibly,
You
but
mean
guys,
Pittsburgh?
Yeah,
Yes.
what did I
Baltimore?
say?
You said Packers.
I said Steelers.
You said Packers.
Did I? I'm
Boys-
sorry. Steelers,
boys,
Ravens.
here's actual relevant information, okay? In that matchup, the underdog above 3 always covers. So bet the underdog of over 3 and the under. It's a bet. It's a guaranteed bet.
Is that Boopin's guarantee?
Had
Because
nothing
rumor
to
on the
do with
street
what
is
we were
Miller
talking
might
about.
have a guarantee.
Jesus. Had nothing to do, and bet responsibly. Good Lord. I can't believe we're doing this all over again.
It's
God,
week
Lupin.
18. I don't know what you want to do.
All right, let's get into it. Bears 49ers. I'll say it was a heck of a doozy of a game. Bears
32-38.
lose 42-38. Caleb Williams went 25 of 42 for 332 touchdowns. And because we gave that stat, that means it's time for Miller's Glazing Minute. I did hear
it in podcasting.
I don't know. I've had better, but I did hear that he was struggling with it, so I do have my timer ready to go.
It's Miller's Glazing Minute, brought to you by the Trio of Positivity Podcast.
What we watched on Sunday was Caleb Williams' best game of his career. 31 points, 330 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 turnovers. All off season, we heard, will he get sacked? Can he throw the deep ball? Well, let me show you something. 0 sacks in the last 2 games. On throws over 20 yards, 5 for 5, 150 yards, 2 TDs. Perfect passer rating. He is now 9th in the league at 3,730 yards passing, and 8th in passing yards, 9th in touchdowns. 109 yards away from the Bears franchise record, and Miller's guarantee 270 yards for 4,000. Caleb Williams is here, and here we go, baby.
Talk about finishing early. He had 13 seconds left.
Fuck.
There's nothing wrong with finishing early, though.
I had more.
There's nothing wrong with finishing early. Boopin, your thoughts?
No, I love it. 270 yards, 1,000 yards. If you guys remember at the beginning of this season, that was Miller's bottom line. That was success and failure for the Bears. I'm happy Miller they are hitting 4,000 yards.
He's not hitting 4 yet. Like, why are we acting like he hit it already? He's
Hey,
not
it's
gonna
Miller's guarantee. Do you?
Miller's
did you not hear?
guarantee.
Miller's guarantee is that he's gonna ball out against the Lions.
Balling out is 270 yards.
Yeah, because he hasn't really hit 270.
He's
Fair.
hit 270 quite
His
a few
average is like
times.
240, 230, is it not?
235.
No, you're
is-
right.
Yeah, he's right. Chris, you're right. For the first time on the show, you're right.
No, I've been right multiple times. You guys
Just bec-
refuse. Just like Brock
You know what
Purdy
an average
outplayed
is, though,
Caleb Williams,
Chris?
too. I was right about that.
Just do you know what an average is? It means
Yes,
that
I know
you
what an
get,
average is.
you get games above and below.
Yes, right. But you're talking like if he's going to get 30 more than his average against a team that he didn't play very well against the first go around.
That's why it's a revenge game.
Against a team that
I
is
hate saying revenge. Oh my
really-
God, you and revenge game. If I had a
100%.
quarter for
We're
every
not-
time Boopin has said revenge game in this
You'd have
podcast,
$1. You'd have $1.
I'd have more than $1. I'd have $2. All right. So we talked a little bit about Caleb there. The one thing I want to bring up before we get into the next segment is there's a lot of talk online regarding certain plays. Chris Collinsworth was able to put in a couple of, I guess you could say, interesting comments, but from what I've seen, it seems to be accurate. While Caleb Williams seems to thrive under very hard situations, he can't seem to make the easy throws. And this was a game where you can kind of see there were some easy throws to be had. There was one where he was rolling on the right, guy was wide open, completely overthrows him. People can question the end zone, which we'll talk about here, I'm assuming, in a little bit of the last play of the game. I feel like there's more to that. But how do we feel that the running thought online is that Chris Collinsworth, instead of saying Patrick Mahomes a lot, was actually giving this decent criticism about Caleb Williams?
I heard he'll say Purdy next game and not Mahomes. That's the new contract he has. But you're absolutely right. We have talked about it a little bit, right? I don't know if it comes with accuracy. He's pretty good outside the pocket. The one throw that I remember that was very obvious a mistake was he was rolling out. It was a tough throw, but there was no one in front of. I think it was a running back, and he just threw it his legs. He could right. That was the one play you were talking about. Like
The one that was to a tight end. I think it was Loveland.
okay. I definitely saw one play where I was like, oh man, like you've hit throws way harder than that, and that seemed like a gimme, and the ones you expect you to make. We've talked about it before, especially in our chat, the personal chat we have. Like that's one of the criticism he ate, and I don't know what to say. Like it looks true. Like like some of the plays that he should have, he seems to miss it, but it was a couple in a game. I don't know how many passes he threw, but that was legit.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's wrong. Let's make him the bad guy. I love it. It'll fuel him.
No,
He threw
had two
42.
bad throws,
He threw
Miller.
42,
We're not
42.
saying get rid of him. We're just
No,
saying
I'm saying like from the league. Let's get the league doubting him. Make him the bad guy. Oh, he's not good enough to play this position. He misses the easy throws, which he does. But it's just adding fuel to his fire, in my opinion. So
I know you.
But is
get
that,
defensive.
but that's
You get
genuine
defensive when
criticism.
someone-
That's
yeah.
it's been
That's
the criticism
genuine.
all year we've talked about. How he can't hit the easy throws at times.
I mean, it's
Don't
more
want
than
to
at
give
times.
Ben.
No, it's
Credit
not more
this
than
early.
at times. It's like 3 or 4 a game.
Aren't those the ones you want, though?
I would much rather have the 45-yard touchdown pass than a 10-yard out route.
I have a whole take on that, but I'm going to wait to save that one for later. All right, we'll talk more a little bit as this conversation goes on. Boopin, we can't give you your balls today because the Bears lost. Typically, you get your balls when you win, but apparently you still want to give some kind of information. What do you got?
Yeah, my balls are intact this game. I'm happy to report that. No, just wanted to talk about similar concept, right? Some of the people that I think outplayed their positions, played their positions really well, and some people that we can raise some fingers on. Just bigger bunches, like general theme. Offense gets us like thumbs up, and defense gets a thumbs down. I think that'll be the theme of this episode that we'll talk about. But we already talked about Caleb. Probably had his best game, like Miller said. Stats back it up. We went toe to toe with like a opponent that's running for the number 1 seed, so props to him. We already talked about him. Two other um, people on pass catchers that stood out to me. Luther Burden, like had probably easily the best game of his rookie career. Colson Loveland also with the touchdown and about 100 yards came through there as well. We'll talk about that in a minute too. But both of them I deserve a mention. I think with all the people in offense going down, they put their hand up, came through, signed. Very happy for them. Lastly, my hero. I told him he would be a game changer this season. 2 touchdowns. DeAndre Swift, 54 yards. Sir, one run especially was very impressive. Wanted to give a shout out to all of them. Made us proud. On the downside, knocked down the defense. I don't think we had a defense playing out there. It was painful. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Purdy, we made him look like Lamar at times, just juking player and like holding the ball forever. We would have had him dead in so many plays. He would be out. Same thing with the receivers, like running backs. Like we would have a couple of players ready to make a tackle. No, like just like magicians out there, just making us look bad. The entire D line. The only one that probably doesn't get the criticism is Booker because he had the 1 sack we had, and we had 3 tackle for loss as a whole team, guys. It was very pathetic. I mean, neither team played defense, but I think on our end we came up slightly shorter. So the defense, I'm slightly concerned about them moving forward.
Miller, your thoughts?
Yeah, I love it.
Fucking poet over there. All right, let's.
What you want me to say?
I figured you would have given some love to Sweat. I thought he played decent.
No,
He had his worst
just
game.
no. You're wrong.
How am I wrong?
Nobody on the defensive line gets any credit, let alone the defense gets credit.
Sweat especially, like I think one play just shot around gap. Purdy again.
The
looked
whole
like
team
Lamar.
was doing wrong, but gaps
Like-
the entire game.
I think there was one other play where he had Purdy dead to rights, and Purdy just again like magically appeared somewhere else and like made a play. Like twice, I thought Sweat looked really bad.
I guess you might have seen something that I didn't. I could have sworn I saw him running around, at least trying to chase him.
No, you're confusing that with the big man, the only guy that can get
Billings.
any credit. Billings.
Well,
the nose tackle that seemed to be involved in running after
Poor
every
guy.
player.
you might be right, because there were a couple plays. I will say though, my dad and I watched the game together, and my dad and I very rarely watch football. And my dad pointed out, is like, that's the same formation they ran a couple plays ago. And then I'm looking like, yeah, whatever, Dad. My dad doesn't follow football that much, right? I look up and I'm like, holy shit, you're right. They had the tight end run from left to right, and then they gave the ball to the running back. I'm fucking throwing off.
McCaffrey.
Thank you. I'm
McCaffrey or
off with names
Swift.
today. I don't know why. And then he ran it in, and then you see a couple plays later, they fake it to him, and then there's like a wide open throw. I'm like, oh my God, my dad was right. It was literally one formation that just kept giving this defense trouble, and we never adjusted.
Chris, let me give you a little secret. That's what
Okay.
Rams and 49ers do. They do the same formation and run different plays off of it, and that's why they're good. No teams can guess who gets the ball in every given play.
I don't know. But when you have, there was the play fake to McCaffrey that led to Purdy scoring, and people are like, oh, like, look at this fake by Purdy. And I'm like, no, he ran to the right guy who thought he had the ball. You're going to always want to keep eyes on the running back. You're not going to assume that Purdy's going to keep the ball on that play.
No,
and then-
you need to have containment.
No, not when you have him in the back.
Yes, you have to always have containment. Your guy on the edge has to have containment.
I mean, containment, yes, Miller, but if you have McCaffrey on the line, I don't care who you are. You're going to sneak your
You
eyes
have
over
to
there.
sneak a peek or
Like,
something.
come on, dude. Like,
Okay, well, that's how you lose games.
that's what we said. That's what we
Jeez.
lost.
I mean, literally what Boopin
I mean,
and I...
if
Boopin,
Booker is
did you and I
on
just
the
become best
side-
friends, Boopin? What's going on here? What's going on here?
I
Screw
understand
that guy.
play action pass, or play action, but it's just like when you're Booker, you can't lose containment when you're the last player on the edge. Because if you lose containment, that's how Purdy just runs around and runs it wide open into the end zone.
I mean, it's a bad comp, but if Derrick Henry is in the backfield, would you not
Boopin,
like?
there are freaking 11 other or 10 other players on the field. If you're an edge, if you're the last resort on the edge, that's literally your job.
So, okay, I'm not going to entertain this anymore because I feel like it's going to just keep going in circles. Now we're going to get into some questions of the game that were vigorously read in the agenda before anyone decided to go into it. Of course,
Vigorously, big word.
I know. It's what you get
Ooh.
with an associate's degree.
Spell
First
it.
question. Let's not go that far. First question is going to be: do you feel like this loss was more of a reality check, or a necessary measuring stick for where the Bears actually are?
It was a really good measuring stick. We've had magical season. Some will even say romanticized, you know, with like timely takeaways and clutch comebacks. But we have talked about this, guys. Like, that brand of football is unsustainable, right? Like, our flaws were very obvious, and honestly, it's clear where we need help. So I think it was a really good measuring stick.
Miller, your thoughts?
I don't fucking like this question. What this game showed me was that the Bears are a legit team. We've had our wins these last few games. Obviously, the Packers game was a fluke. But this team, we know the defense, specifically the defensive line struggles. They've struggled all year. We didn't learn that. We didn't learn that this week. What we learned was that the Bears can march into potential number 1 seeds building and lose at the 1-yard line. We were right there. We were right there to beat them. And you know what? If they would have converted that play, we would have had different conversation today. So it's just like they walked in there and they put on a hell of a show. The offense played unbelievable. The defense absolutely sucked. But overall, that game showed me that we were right up there with top tier teams.
Oh, that's the funniest line I think you've ever said. Oh God, I don't think we're legit, and I don't think it's a reality check. I think it just established that what we knew, like the defense was bad, and the offense, given the opportunity, can score against a bad defense. I mean, there's no other thing to say about it. I just don't understand how it's like you can say that we're a legit team and then we give up 38 points. That's not
We
legit.
scored 38 points.
We gave 42.
So are the Niners
We
not
gave up
legit?
42.
Are the Niners not legit?
They're not.
Jesus, they were missing Kittle and Trent Williams and Ayuk, and they still scored 42 on us. So yes, I don't know about where that legit comes from, too, Miller.
I'm just
You don't
trying
know
to
where the Niners being legit comes from?
No, like where
for
us-
Bears.
Yeah, us sure.
like, are you? I would say that the Bears' offense is legit. I'll agree with you.
Yeah, I said that too. Yeah.
I wouldn't say that the Bears as a whole is legit.
Hey. Okay, that's fine. I mean, I
Boopin,
don't know
we
what
got
else
one.
you have to.
We got
I don't know
one.
what else they have to
Best
show you,
friend,
man.
We
best
got one.
friend,
Best friends forever. Best friends forever.
Whatever,
all right.
bro.
Maybe we'll
Injuries
get
happen.
timers for next episode.
He's not going to show up. The duo of positivity. All right. This is definitely not a question that I would have put in. I'm assuming one of my other two fantastic co-hosts decided to
Do you
put
want
it
me
in.
to read it?
Yes, go for it, because I knew it's not going to sound great if I read it.
Pretty fucking false. Came out
There
with
it
another
is.
report recently. Our rookie weapons are 1 and 2 in their rookie receiver rankings. That being Colston Loveland and Luther Burden III. As Boopin just talked about, they had great games. Was this their coming out party? And how do the Bears incorporate them going forward when Rome comes back? Chris, why don't you start us?
You know what? That is a very good question how you said it compared to how it was written. So I will give you massive props for that. I mean, I think for Burden more than Loveland, I would say, if you were to say that it's a coming out party. They did make a big deal about Loveland dropping a ball, and then Chris Collinsworth had an orgasm saying, "Oh, that was his first drop of the whole year." Oh, like, that kind of comment. So I am intrigued. I do feel like when Rome comes back, it's going to be better for everyone around. I think even for DJ Moore. But just to keep the question based on this, I do believe the incorporation of them is going to be better when Rome is back, because I think Loveland will probably ball out.
Yeah, but I mean, we needed them this week and they showed up, but they have been on like consistently, maybe more so Loveland than Luther. They have been, if you look at and you follow fantasy pretty closely, Miller. I think Loveland has been a startable tight end second half of the year. I think Burden, like when has the opportunity, has showed up too. So no, like it's good to show. It was like something crazy I saw that the duo of rookies getting that many yards was the most since like 1980s or something. Like it was like pretty awesome for like NFL too. Like the two rookie was just balling out. But yeah, like I'm so happy to see. I think when Rome comes back and healthy, like Chris said, I don't think we'll have any like number one wide receiver like every week starter, but I think it'll be even better for the Bears, maybe bad for fantasy, is like we'll have like 4 good weapons, and on any given day, like 49ers do, some game is a George Kittle week, some game is a McCaffrey week, sometimes a John Jennings game. That's what we will end up being, I think, depending on the matchup, who matches up well. I'm hoping that's what becomes best case scenario, but no, props to them. Props to our GM for drafting them, It was like a great move.
Yeah, man, it's pretty crazy to see. I think it was definitely a coming out party for them. I mean, to do it on Sunday Night Football, to put on that show for the city of Chicago, it was just awesome to watch the two of them play. It was Loveland's first drop. I was mortified. I mean, with all the drops that we've had this year, and believe me, I know, because we lead the leagues in yards from drops at 352. So Caleb would almost be at 4,000 if it wasn't for all the drops that this team has. But Loveland was that one guy that never fucking dropped the ball. I was like, fuck, when he did that. But when it comes to Loveland, love him. You saw what I did there? Burden has been next level when he gets the ball in his hand. You saw it on, I believe, that 4th down, that throw to Caleb, it hit him, and he ran right around. He juked the same defender. He broke his ankles twice to get the first down on that final drive. Just crazy. But what Burden has done is since 2011, he leads all wide receiver rookies in yards per route run at 2.82. So that means every route he runs, he gets an average of 2.82 yards, essentially. That list consists of Odell Beckham at 2, A.J. Brown at 3, Justin Jefferson at 4, Puka Nacua at 5, and Jamar Chase at 6. So that's a hell of a list to be a part of. So watch out for Burden going forward. And for me, this DJ Moore roller coaster is just every week, man. These last 2 weeks, he's getting game balls, and then this week he's gone. Could be a flu game. I don't know how the Bears incorporate DJ Moore into this offense. You saw it in the earlier weeks. He wasn't there. They were hitting Rome, they were hitting Burden, they were hitting Loveland. I'll be interested to see how he's incorporated.
One note for
No, go ahead.
Burden. Please work on your conditioning, sir. I know you ran out a lot of routes, but that poor man was on a stretcher because he was tired at the end of the game.
Better safe than sorry in my book. But question for you boys. Where do you think the Bears rank right now with most drop passes this season?
I just gave you the stats about how they lead the league in yards.
Wait,
Yeah, but that's not the question I'm asking.
I don't know how many drop passes.
top 8.
top 8. Miller, if you had to guess.
Top 10.
Well, you both would be right, but if you guys were just a little bit closer, you would see that they were top 5. They are top 5 in the league with 27. They are tied with the Chargers.
Wow, I didn't actually think you would bring an argument that supported me.
Yeah, well, that's what I was trying to help you, and then here you are being a dick. The Jaguars
Normally
currently
you don't
lead.
help me.
The Jaguars currently lead the league right now, according to Sports.
Yeah,
Bet
BTJ,
MGM,
BTJ over there.
with 45. Continuing the conversation, we're going to switch it over to the defense.
Do you want me
So-
to ask the question?
Sure, go for it.
Like Chris said, let's switch over to the defensive side, right?
Thanks, Boopin. So-
There's a question coming. So you guys made me laugh.
Thank
There's
you.
a question coming.
Wait, is it about the defense?
Let me go. You have to find out. Hang on. You guys are on one today. Okay. Did the defense do enough to keep them in the game, or do you think the bend don't break opportunistic type of style they've been playing all year ran its course?
I want to go first because I
Please.
hate this question.
Fuck
You
both
can't
of you.
say that the bend don't break is a style of play. That should not be something that any team in the NFL should look for. That is your last case scenario to try to win games. It should not be a main focal point. If your defense is bad and you're like, hey, bend don't break. It's just you just have a bad defense. So I feel like this has played its course out way before this game, and we just happened to hit a hot team with Purdy leading the way. That's I've heard people say like, yeah, if this defense just continues to bend, like we have a chance. People forget that the defense also scored a touchdown this game at the very beginning. So what more could they have done? Well, they could have done a couple more stops, but I just don't like that it's being broken down as a play style of bend don't break. I don't like it.
I mean, a couple other teams play it, but okay.
Who?
This is like a known
Wait, hold on. What other
term.
teams?
As Miller's talking, I'll think about that.
Yeah, I can't. I
Jesus.
won't be able to name the teams, but I can guarantee you that the Bears have played this defense before.
But a bend don't
Guarantee
break
you.
style as like a
Yes.
primary style? No.
That is what we've said in the past. The bend don't break. It's common terminology. When
But
you have a
it can be
team that
terminology, but it should not be a method of keeping track of wins and losses.
who says it's keeping track of wins and losses.
That's what it sounds like to me, especially when I see it online. And it's not just like with us. I'm saying like in the general sense, I've seen people like say like, if this defense just plays on a bend don't break style, and it's like, okay, so what you're saying is if they score 60 on us and the Bears score 63, the defense did the job.
No, that's not what bend don't
Okay,
break
but
is.
But that's what
Bend
a
don't
lot of
break
people are trying to
means-
make it seem.
Oh, they're wrong. Bend don't
Um,
break basically means that you allow a team to move the ball, but as you get closer to the end zone, you're more stout and you hold them to field goals out of the end zone. That's statistically what we have been pretty good at over the last few games is keeping opponents out of the end zone. You
Okay,
remember
that's
the
fair.
red zone last game
Yep.
against the Packers? We were
That's
0
fair.
for 5, keeping them
Yep,
out.
yep, yep.
So that's the weird terminology.
That's fair.
Boopin wants to say something about the defense, I think. And
Mr.
maybe he can
Google.
clarify.
Mr. Google had some. First off, you missed the second part of that question, which is bend don't break / opportunistic defense, but we will talk about that another day.
I don't think you said it on the question, but go ahead.
If you'd fucking let me finish. But Mr. Google says LA Chargers are under Jesse Mentor this year have been very famous playing bend don't break. Along with that, they also named Baltimore Ravens and Kansas City Chiefs who have played bend don't break. Again, don't come at me. It's Mr.
Got you. So let me of the two teams you've mentioned, how many of them had a winning record up until the last maybe 2-3 weeks?
I mean, Chargers have it all year, but
But Chiefs didn't, and the Bengals at the very beginning were awful. So like,
Well, good thing it wasn't the Bengals. He said the Ravens.
I'm sorry, Ravens. The Ravens were awful at the beginning. So like, I don't understand. Like, I feel like you made my point.
So, like, I didn't say it was good. I will send you this
Regardless,
link right
bend,
now.
don't break, whatever. What we saw this game was the fact that we have no defense. Specifically, we don't have a playoff defense. And even with the Packers, we saw this. I brought it up last game, and everybody in the chat actually preached, we have bend, don't break. They're holding them to 20 points, blah, 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 blah. They did that. They did it. Give them credit for it. But you're talking about a backup quarterback and a backup running back. And they still went up and down the field on the Bears. Up and down. We held them to field goals. We held them out of the end zone. We won the game. That's what happens. This game faced probably the best offense in the league, and at very least the hottest offense in the league. We held them to 0 field goals. And they continued to go, other than I think 2 possessions where they punted, up and down the field, up and down the field. It didn't matter if you got them on the 5-yard line, at the 20-yard, it didn't matter. They were just shredding us. And it's just like, if we can get turnovers, the defense can get stops. And it's really starting to appear, if you're going to play a competent offense, if this defense can't get turnovers, we're not going to be able to stop their offense.
So Miller mentioned it before when we were talking about the Packers, that the Packers had 5 possessions in the red zone, and they were 0 of 5 in the red zone. In this game, San Francisco had 5 possessions in the red zone, went 5 for 5.
I think our luck ran out. We've been relying on turnovers. Miller was absolutely right. But Eagles were a good disciplined team. We talked about it. Packers were a good disciplined team, but somehow we were getting wins against them. And I think, including me, I was fooled too. I thought we had a shot of winning this game, but like you said, they were 5 for 5. Again, like you guys said, it gives me there's promise that the offense looked solid and kept us in the game all game. So I'm proud about. But yeah, the defense is definitely worrisome.
All right, let's go into probably my favorite question of.
Did you write it?
I did not.
Damn right you didn't. But continue.
The
Doesn't
Chicago
do
Bears came up
agendas.
1 yard short and essentially ran out of time on the last drive of the game. Is it a fair point to say that the Bears would have won if they had more time? Would you have done something different on that drive?
Do you still like it?
I feel like I could have gotten rid of the I think it's a fair point to say, but sure. Since it was Miller's question, Miller, why don't you start us off?
The way this offense was moving up and down the field the entire game, it's not absurd to say the Bears would have probably scored there. I'm not going to sit here and question the coaching staff like some other people would. But the biggest thing on that drive that concerns me, I would maybe question, was it was pointed out in the chat by Ben. Everybody knows Ben. Props to Ben. I agreed. There was a play, I think it might have been the 4th and 5 play, but it was a first down that we got. And instead of running up and clocking it on first down, we proceeded to use one of our timeouts, which we could have later used at the end of the game. Other than that, I'm going to let Boopin go because he has a bunch to get off his chest, and I'll just add on.
So you're going to cut off his time is what you're saying. All right, Boopin, get ready for him to cut you off.
It's okay. We've already said worse things on the chat today, I think. So I'm going to say something that I haven't said all year. Guys, it was Flusian. It reminded me of Everflus, the way we ran that. We had 3 timeouts. We were on their 40-yard line with 40 seconds to go. And I'm not debating the results will be different. I'm just saying we could have maybe had an extra shot. Both the quarterback and the coach admitted that the plane came in too late. They didn't do pre-snap adjustments. We could have gotten a better play executed. We could have done something differently. I'm sorry. Love Ben Johnson. Love what he's done with the team. But this game reminded me of Flus and why we got rid of him.
Can you explain where you would have changed the timeouts?
From what I recollect, we had 2nd and 5 at San Francisco 32 with 30-some seconds left. That's when we took our first timeout.
So that was our first timeout.
Yeah.
And then the second timeout, I believe, was a 4th and 5 play.
Yes.
I consider both of those timeouts valid. It's a
think
4th and 5 to end the game. I think a timeout can be warranted there.
Yeah. I again, probably looking back, again, the first down play, I guess, would have been like, try and save a timeout there would be the play. But again, like I know we are living on borrowed time, and we have had fourth down comebacks, and I'm living off of that. I don't know what would be different. I don't know if you would have been different. The execution was poor, and we have a higher standard now. This is what we used to do under Flus. We got rid of
Typical
them.
cutting them off.
Before I talk to Clues, I resent the fact that you say it Flusian, because we all know that Flus didn't call timeouts instead of calling timeouts.
But it was a
So
time
it's
management
the
issue,
opposite
though.
of
No,
Flusian.
it's still a time management issue.
I can't believe you were here defending him when
I know.
we drove
and the man's
Flus
about
out
to
of
get
town.
fired
I
from
know.
the Cowboys too. But
I'm not
um,
defending him. I'm just saying he didn't
You're
use
not?
his timeout.
so
I said, yeah. Go ahead,
so before
Chris.
Miller cuts me off, let me preface
No, your
this.
points are never smart, so I don't need to
My
fight.
points are very smart because I said it. On one of the timeouts, I can't remember if it was the first or the second one, I saw the tight end, the wide receiver, and a couple of the linemen look absolutely gassed. They were tired. It is California. Maybe it was a temperature thing. I don't know. I'm not going to speculate there, but I do believe that one timeout was warranted just because they looked gas.
I think that was the fourth down.
Now, the last play, then when they spiked it, you can kind of tell they were thinking they had more time available because they were kind of like lollygagging around. When the actual play gets under center, I think there was only 4 or 5 seconds left on the play clock. That's already bad. So that play, no matter what happened, was, in my opinion, dead, because if they had emotion or if they had something, it was dead. You see Caleb start to panic. He's raising his leg, doing everything possible, and then they run the play. So I think that's a whole offensive failure just because of how that went. Could we have saved the timeout? Yeah, I think we could have. I would probably say maybe when we got the first down on the first fourth down play, go in and spike it and save it, sure. But I also think that they knew they could go and get the touchdown. And they're like, let's just kind of take our time. I do think one of the timeouts was warranted, though, because the team just looked gas. So that last play, I blame everyone. I blame Caleb. I blame Ben Johnson. I blame everyone because I feel like that's one of those 2-minute drills that every offense kind of goes through. And the one thing, and again, it's a learning thing. I said this a couple, maybe last episode or episode before, where I said there's not a lot of stuff that we can kind of criticize Caleb with now because he's been growing every game this season. That's going to be one of those things where the play clock, he's going to have to learn it in the playoffs. If you do make a mistake like that, your season's done. You can't have that. So I'm glad it happened now and not in the postseason.
Guys, like I did want to do this, but I really want to stir the pot now. Do you guys think the field goal in the drive before was the right call? We've gone for it a lot on fourth downs all season. Like, can we question Ben there? Like in a game where our defense was basically not stopping them, would you have gone for it on fourth down and
Do
tried
you
to
want
score
to
a
answer first,
touchdown?
Miller? Or I can answer first.
Just go.
I think that was the right call. I think the field goal was the right call.
Guy's up for fucking coach of the year. Let's question every fucking thing he does.
No,
it was the right call. I mean, at the end of the day, you need points on the board. There's 4 minutes left of the game. Kick the field goal, take the points. I don't think it was short yardage. I don't remember the drive, but I don't think it was short yardage. There's a lot of questions regarding that drive on what can be done differently. And Ben Johnson did say that was one of his worst called drives of the game that he regrets, but no mention of not going for it or not kicking the field goal there. You got to get the points, hope the defense can get a stop, and then go down. There's a lot of talk, specifically from Bupin, talking about the use of timeouts. Now, you mentioned we had about 40 seconds left, 3 timeouts on the 40-yard line. We got this ball with about 2 minutes left in the game. Do you have any problems with Ben Johnson doing what he did and substantially running down the clock? Because this was not a 2-minute offense. They were very slow and steady moving the ball up. And I think it was deliberate because of how successful the 49ers were on offense that they didn't want to leave any time left. So if you're focused on the time, you have issues there.
No, I've seen that, and like people were criticizing on both ends. They were like saying, "Oh, he's taking too much time," while other people were saying they don't want to give them any time on the clock. That I understood. That I think that was part of game plan that was executed well. I think I still go back to the timeouts. I'm sorry. Like if you have 3 with 40 seconds, I feel like you're you have one goal is to score a touchdown. Like that's where you need your timeouts. I'm sorry. I get Chris's play. They were gassed in one play, maybe then, or maybe in fourth down, you take a timeout. But like we have to have the optimum amount of time to score a touchdown. And I think the play call, the time left on the clock, didn't give us that opportunity. Again, big fan of the man. I'm just saying it did not look like the standard he has himself placed this season. It fell short by his own standards, is all I'm saying.
It's tough. It's tough because we've seen it with our previous coach, but I honestly can say that when the Bears have the ball with 2 minutes left, we're winning the game. That's been my thing. The 6 comebacks have given me a reason to say that whatever they're going to decide to do, it's going to win us the game. Now, I think San Francisco had all 3 timeouts, so it wouldn't have mattered how much time we would have given them. I think Ben Johnson was literally going to say, hey, we're going to drive down the field. We're going to take some shots, but also I don't want San Francisco to get the ball. Did he overplay that? Sure, you can say he overplayed it, but it came down to the last second, and if we scored a touchdown, it would have been comeback number 7, and everyone would have been praising how it was done. I feel like this is very 50. This is the most 50-50 you can get compared to the other game with the Packers, where it was like a one throw kind of thing. So like I'm in the same point. I don't know if that answers your question, Miller, but I feel like all of this probably doesn't happen if the Bears don't go for that field goal either.
The field goal was a 29-yard field goal. We were 4th and goal from San Francisco 11.
You're not going for it that far out, in my opinion. I mean, you can question everything, like question the what is that called? The toss, the play before. You can question Swift for not running out of bounds. Like you can sit here and play that game. At the end of the day, you had an opportunity on the last play to score. They didn't get it off. It was a mess, like multiple individuals have said, and it didn't work out. We were 2 yards short from winning that game, and it's impressive that we were at that point considering how well their offense played.
Did anyone have an issue with the hook and ladder? I didn't. No? Okay.
I think they were defending the goal line regardless of what play was called. Like there were 3 defenders that like tackled.
It was more it's because they played zone. They thought they were in man, but they played zone, and because they were in zone, they had those 3 defenders there. Whereas if they played man, they would have been following their men, so that we would have probably got in. But like I said, I mean,
it was like very good play calling too. Like in the last play, they showed blitz, and then looks like they were gonna blitz, and then they like double covered DJ Moore, who probably, let's be honest, that's where the ball was going for the play, and that just threw everything off. So like, kudos to them with the undermanned defense on their end too. They showed up to play it, and like that last drive showed up and won the game for them.
I wouldn't even say it showed up. I think our mistake was more than their defense. Us being late to the ball. There's only so much that I can give credit to that defense, but I'm not going to give them credit on the last play. The last play was the Bears. They blew themselves up. They shot themselves in the foot with how everything that was carried. All right.
Like, I
agree with you, Chris.
Yeah, that was the best point you made all episode, Chris. I agree.
No, I've made multiple points. You just refuse to
with that one.
You refuse to acknowledge it, but that's okay. Let's get into the positivity score. We're gonna see where we're at. Miller was 9 last week. Boopin was at a 9.5. I was at an 8.5. I'll start because people are jealous of my power. Given that this game, it further proved that the defense is not where we want it to be, and the offense kind of kept us in the game. I'm going to stick to an 8.5. It was a Sunday night football game. I think there's only so much that they could have done maybe a little bit different. And also, again, one play away. I mentioned it with the Packers. If that game went our route, I think we would have had something. So I'm not going to take anything away. I'm not going to give anything. I'm going to stick to where I was. I will be at an 8.5. Boopin, what do you think?
I blame you guys. You guys got me super high. I was at 9.5, guys. Why'd you let me do that? Why? How could you? No, I think I try to stay even kill. I think I got a little caught up in like the Packers win and what it was. I'm gonna bring them down a point. I think the team is great, like has really good things going on, but it also has some pretty major flaws, especially as we play good teams. I think it'll be more visible. So I'll bring them down a point. I'm with you, Chris, in half.
Miller, what are your thoughts?
So I was at a 9 as well. And I want to preface that this score that I'm about to give has nothing to do with this game. This game, like I mentioned, I thought I was very impressed with this team, the way that offense was able to go up and down the field and really prove themselves toe to toe with one, potentially a number 1 seed. This score going down to an 8.5 is because I have red lights going off about this defense. And it is the fact that they can't stop anybody these last 2 games against quality offenses. I don't know that we can get anywhere in the playoffs.
All right, let's get into the final matchup of the season. It is going to be the Detroit Lions coming to Soldier Field against the Bears. It is a 325 game, which we found out on Sunday night. The over-under is 50.5. That's a lot of points. Right now, it looks like...
Bet the over.
270.
Good Lord. If I'm reading this right, it looks like the Lions were favored and now the Bears are favored by 2.5. Lions were originally favored at 1.5 at the open. We always ask the same questions when we look up the next opponent. So, what do the Bears need to do to win this game? Miller, start us off.
Play well. Go ahead, Boopin.
We need to take advantage of their defense that's injured. Score quick and often. I think it'll be another game where, let's be honest, they scored 51 on us on week 2. Like I don't care what happens. Ben Johnson will try to score 50 on them, I think, because we are not resting our starters. So it'll be a good chess match. I know, Chris, you hate to hear it, but it's master and protege, right? Like that's where Ben Johnson got his start, and it's like him trying to establish that he's his own path, he's his own coach. I think it'll be that. I think if we can run the ball on them, and Chris says this all the time, like we have the best shot of winning.
Yeah. I have a lot to say about what the Bears can do to win this game. Most of it being that I know that the Lions are going to want to play spoilers, but I think for the Bears, this defense needs to show that they cannot have a high scoring output. Like they can't allow another game where they get scored more than 30 or anything like that. So I think turnovers are going to be big. If Miller wants to see a 4,000-yard passer, our offense needs to actually produce a high number. I think if Caleb can get 300, it would probably be this game. So we'll see what happens. What do the Lions need to do, Boopin, to win this game?
Play their game. They have an aggressive game. They can take advantage of our leaky defense. Like we made second stringers on 49ers look competent and actually Pro Bowlers. So do that. Like no pass rush. So like Jared Goff can be back there all day and score in bunches. That's what they will have to do.
Yeah, I think the Lions will want to make sure that they don't lose another division game. They lost against the Vikings last. They're coming off a 3-game losing streak, and they want to mess the Bears up as much as possible. So I feel like they'll have something to play for. I think they will be chomping at the bit, taking advantage of the defense. And let's hear what Miller has to say about what the Lions need to do to win this game.
Play bad.
Solid. All right.
Wow.
Let's get into our
Is that Chris
predictions.
Collinsworth there?
Now, let's get into the predictions of this game. Miller had the lone person that got this right. He got.
Should I sit up here on my little throne like you did?
What do you mean?
I mean, God, we lost, Miller. Read the room.
Jesus. What are you going to say?
Hey,
Bears win.
I'm the number 1.
Or
I'm
Bears
the
lose.
top. 13-4, baby.
Doesn't matter. Bears lost, Miller.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
seriously.
matters.
Read the room. God.
Being the champ matters, Boop, and I know you don't know what that means, but being the champ matters.
Also, I did find it
Why
funny that
would
at the
you
first
bring
half,
that
all of
up?
our scores were completely wrong. The over was hit in the first half. So our scores meant nothing at this point. But let's let the man a few words pick the first score prediction here. What do you got, Miller?
For the record, my score was the closest.
No
to
one
that
asked.
Score.
Go ahead.
Score against the Lions. I agree with Boopin. Ben Johnson is going to come out for Chris's favorite term, the revenge game. He's going to show up. He's going to show him who's boss. Detroit does not play well outside. It's going to be a high-scoring affair. Over is going to hit. Boopin can take that game again in our parlay and hit it. We're going to say the Bears are going to score 34 points, and the Lions are going to be at 24.
All right, Boopin, what do you got?
I thought I was on a high, but damn, not as high as Miller. I say we get the dub too, but I think it's closer. Last minute field goal wins it for us. 27-24.
I think this defense will show up. I think they will try to prevent them from hitting 21, 24 points. I think that should be their goal. But I think for Caleb, I think he wants 4,000 yards. So I think this offense will ball out. I have Bears winning 37-21.
Damn, okay. Bet the over, people.
Honestly, that kind of helped with the math too, because I for them to say 50.5 as the midpoint, like that's a lot in my book. All right, before we get into the rest of the agenda, and also I'm going to ignore the fact that one of these two idiots here can't spell opponent correctly. Can we
You want to
get
talk about spelling?
can we get an update, Miller? How'd you do in your fantasy games?
I mean, I could talk about how fucking well I did all day, baby.
So you won
truly
what was it,
brought
3
home
champions?
2 out of 3.
Okay.
Happy about
Awesome.
that.
Let's move into the NFC
Brought home some
playoff
solid
scenarios.
dough. Chase Brown won me these ships. Thank you, Chase Brown. 2 touchdowns. Oh, beautiful. On top of that, we had some lackluster Jalen Hurts performances, but we were still able to get it done because, but this brain always works. It's that dub, baby.
Literally just asked him a question and he kept talking.
There's a
literally-
reason I deleted it from the agenda. I was gonna fit it in somewhere.
That's what she said. All right, let's talk
Do
about these.
you want me to talk?
Let's talk about these NFC playoff scenarios that we're seeing.
Do you want me to do this?
You're asking, so I'm assuming you want to.
Well, you're not going to be able to understand my work since this is the first time you're seeing it.
Yeah, and the fact that we still don't know how to spell opponents.
It's not my fault the red squiggly line didn't come up underneath it.
Go ahead.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, since we're done with the stupid Lions shit, so let's focus on why this game matters to the Bears. So at this moment,
Sorry, Miller, quickly, that spelling of opponents also works, it seems like. By the way, that's why I didn't get a squiggly lines.
I was just talking about a different type of opponent, apparently. So the Bears are currently slotted to get either the 2nd or 3rd seed this weekend. Currently, we are 2nd. We are tied with the Eagles record-wise, and we are going to be jostling with them to figure out whether we're the 2nd or 3rd seed. So we do own the tiebreaker from the earlier game this year. So some scenarios here. The Bears will get the 2nd seed if they win, period. The second scenario is we will get the 2nd seed if the Eagles lose. Now the Eagles are playing Washington, so it should be a pretty easy matchup from them. Don't know if they're resting any of their starters. It's to be determined. But those are the 2 scenarios for the Bears to get the 2nd seed. If we get the 3rd seed, it's going to be a Bears loss with an Eagles win. Now let's drive into, I don't even know how to say this word anymore. Let's dive into the possible opponents. So what we're looking at is if we get the 2nd seed, then you're looking at the Packers already guaranteed, locked in, and away. So it's going to be Bears and Packers if we get the 2nd seed. Now the 3rd seed, if we end up being the 3rd seed, things get a little more interesting. It's basically determined that we will be playing an NFC West opponent. Which one will be determined on Saturday and possibly Sunday. So the two teams that can get the 6th seed, which would be the seed that we would play, will be the Niners or the Rams. So we would play the Niners if Seattle wins, and then the Rams win, which would make the Rams and the Niners tied. The Rams have the tiebreaker. So the Rams would be the 5th seed, the Niners would be the 6th seed. If the Niners beat Seattle, they would be the number 1 seed. Seattle automatically becomes 5th because they have a better record than the Rams. And then we would play the Rams if we got the 3rd seed. So, with all that being said, who is your ideal opponent?
Whew. My head just I think short circuited. Anyway, whew. It would be poetic justice if we could play the Packers again, but I don't know. Rams have been sucking lately. What's going on with them on the road? They have lost to the Panthers. They lost to they lost to Atlanta yesterday. They've lost to pretty crappy teams. So like, even though Rams are very scary, I don't know. Current form, probably Rams more than the Packers.
Chris?
Packers, easy question next.
He's
Are we all
not
doing
wrong.
this?
It as much as I hate that it would be a rivalry game, I think the Packers, while the Rams have struggled, the Packers have struggled worse, and their injuries are off the charts. So I think I would much rather have them come to our house again, where hopefully we can pull out an easier win. Because these NFC teams, they are juggernauts, and the Rams and the Seahawks specifically have really good defenses.
Jesus. Can you imagine the ticket prices for that game if it's Packers Bears again
Yeah,
here?
Packers, Bears. Yeah. So I'm hoping that it's the Packers. I'm hoping when we lock up 2nd seed and we play the Packers. If we get 3rd seed, I wouldn't honestly mind the Niners. Again, their defense is banged up. We know that. And I don't know how well warm weather teams can travel into cold weather. Think it's a thing. We've seen it with the Rams before coming into our building and struggling. So I just think there's something to be said when you're not used to playing outdoors in 30, 15-degree weather. I think the offenses can struggle.
I mean, you could look at it that way too. I feel like if we get the Packers and we can beat them, and not like a close game, but like somewhat convincingly beat them in the playoffs, I think it makes this season a success in my book. If we were to do that, more of a success, not a success, but more of a success. Like it's already a successful season. I think if we can beat the Packers, beat them soundly, we put a nice little bow on it. It doesn't matter what happens after that. We'll enjoy the ride. I think Packers is probably the easiest answer I can give. I think if I want more interesting game, I would probably want the Rams to come to Chicago. It'd be fun to see Stafford, but
Rams still scare me.
I mean, they're still scary, but I think it's just kind of like Bears lose, you get the 3rd seed, then you face one of them. I think at this point, it's just like, what matchup would you just want to see in the playoffs? And I think it'd be fun to watch a Rams Packers game or Rams Bears games.
Yeah, I mean, like all of these teams are great, right? Like I don't know, not great, but like they're better. Like they have their stuff together for the most part. So it'll be a tough matchup regardless. But I think those will be 2 options. 49ers, again, both McVay, Shanahan, they're highly respected coaches. They do scare me.
All right. We are going to end the segment with just one comment from our shorts. We're just going to give some love to a 49er fan who, on our short, when we were making some comments on what the Bears needed to do, Mitchell Walsh, 5712, wrote "Bang Bang Niner Gang," which I hate that saying, but kudos to them for winning. It was posted almost immediately after the game was over, so that was fun. And we want to thank you, everyone, for watching our clips, putting some comments in, and subscribing.
I want to cut you off here, and I do apologize.
I mean,
to
you've been
all
doing
the
it all episodes, so
I do apologize to all those individuals that commented to my opinions because they knew they were right. Chris is very butthurt because he doesn't get any comments on his. So please go comment on his videos so he can be happier. Thank you.
See, he says that. yet I'm the one that edits them. I'm also the one that posts them, but
Oh.
my clips have gotten more views than his. So it is what it is. It is what
It's all about engagement, baby.
It's all
So-
about
For
engagement.
the algorithm.
So next week, if there's no Miller shorts and only Chris,
We could try that method and see what happens, just for
Yeah.
shits and giggles. We can just try and see what happens. But no,
Alright.
we do want to thank you guys. It's been a very fun months back posting on YouTube. With the new year coming in, we appreciate everyone subbing. We wish you guys a very happy new year. We're going to post this on New Year's Eve. And to my boys, I am very happy. Wishing you guys a very successful 2026. Love you guys very much. And thanks for putting up with
Absolutely.
me during this little thing that we call a podcast. With that, I'm going to ask Miller.
Ooh.
Sign us off,
Thank you
buddy.
for listening. We hope that you like and subscribe to this podcast. We are a young podcast, so any and all feedback is appreciated. Maybe someday in the near future, we can have some positivity coming out of Chicago sports. But until then, we can suffer in misery together. Signing out.
Doodles.